Hi guys, welcome back to the channel of love. This is part 2. Sometimes I do have to just switch the camera off, and as there are disturbances in the background. Anyway, I'm back, but I feel that that was divinely guided. Oh, I feel a bit congested now. So they were really good cards, I think, for you, Divine Masculine. I know we have this conflict that's the underlying energy, but you can kind of see what's happening here. I do feel like we're just going to recap what the Ace of Cups said. Okay, what is dearest to your heart is available to you now, a gift that only requires your grateful acceptance. Open your hands to receive the blessings of the universe in all their radiant beauty. Okay. Guys, you'll have to listen to part 1 to be able to catch up, because we are having a look at the bottom of the deck before I move on to some oracle cards. The 5 of Wands. I always look at that as being in a conflict. In a conflict with your passions. What started as friendly competition has developed into a real melee. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Looks a bit French. Why are we touching on the French side of life? Okay. Into a real melee where someone may be hurt. Okay. These warriors are comrades at arms, brothers with a common cause, and their mock battle was only meant as practice for when they face an actual foe. But their tempers have got the better of them. Some imagined insult or exaggerated reaction tip the balance from fun to ferocity. It may take a cooler head to intervene and restore the peace. And that will be the Divine Feminine's part of you, Divine Masculine. That's what needs to come in, because this is all the same person. It's you. It's like you're hurting yourself. And it hurts. I feel it's hurting you now. Let's reread this. These warriors are comrades at arms, brothers with a common cause, and their mock battle was only meant as practice for when they face an actual foe. But their tempers have got the better of them. Some imagined insult or exaggerated reaction tip the balance from fun to ferocity. It may take a cooler head to intervene and restore the peace. Send in the Divine Feminine. Key ideas: competition, struggle for power, imagined insults, need for a cooling off period. Let's go to the Oracle, the power of love. Hear the little doggy? I've told you before what that symbolises. When I hear a little doggy barking like that, masculines are in distress. Sending out an SOS. Okay, let's have a look at the power of love. Activation cards. See what we're activating with this reading. Creativity. You love to devise. You love to desire. No, it doesn't. It says you love to devise new ideas, innovations and forms of illumination. Let's have a look. Creativity. The most natural characteristic of a soul is creation. As a spiritual being, you are continually being inspired by the higher self, source energy, and the spirit world to express yourself in the physical dimension. You are constantly in a mode of creation, even if you are not aware of it. Thoughts are creation, and thoughts are real. And even though not every single one manifests itself physically, it nevertheless creates your reality. That is why it is so important to keep your thoughts high-minded. Judgment of yourself and others lowers your vibration of love. Your thoughts don't belong only to you. Their energy is part of the collective consciousness. Your creative spark may ignite and inspire the soul or mind of another. When you are blocking your creativity, you are not fully expressing your soul. This blockage may manifest in a number of ways, such as physical pain, anger, depression, anxiety, and isolation. There may also be feelings of living an unfulfilled life. Always remember that you are of God, and God is creativity. As a loving, visionary person, you can see the potential for that which has yet to exist in physical reality. You are able to turn imagination into form. The more you attune yourself to the loving energy of your heart, the more receptive you are to inspired ideas that bring Earth closer to heaven. Beautiful message. Let's have a look at the energy. Let's have a look at the energy from the Energy Oracle cards. It's getting hot. Feel for the masculines here, it's most definitely getting hot. A cooling off period is needed. Oh, I've got the chills now. It can happen that quickly. Broken heart in reverse. Let's read this message. Card number 9, that looks like a 6. Been hurting yourself. It hurts, like I said. I feel you're feeling it physically. The pain, the torture that you're just putting yourself through. Card number 9. Broken heart, grief and loss in reverse. The broken heart reversed means a time of renewal and hope. The pain and trauma are behind you now, and you can trust that greater joy is on its way. Yippee! Whatever has happened to hurt you in the past, you're now free to move on. The universe has much better things in store for you, so finish letting go of any residual grief and open your life to your new self-loving intention. Joyous connections will follow. Affirmation: I release the pain of the past and live with compassion for myself. Love heals and renews me now. That's a nice feeling. The Oracles of Shadows and Light. The Oracle of Shadows and Light. Do I have any coffee left? A little bit. Okay, we can take this card. Angel de los Muertos. Transitions to the spirit realm. Card number 16. The Major Arcana card in the Tarot, number 16, is the Tower. And it comes after the Devil. About Angel de los Muertos. This compassionate, soulful, and most tender of angels has been assigned 2 tasks. The first is to gently collect and gather souls to take home, where they will rest a while before incarnating again. You can see why this energy has been brought in, is rushing into the Divine Masculine here. Quite literally. The second is to remove the fear of death and carry away souls who are anticipating sweetness and relief, peace, and a deep, restful time before rebirth. The Angel de los Muertos does not obliterate identity at a soul level, but she certainly gently releases the soul from its body, allows the physical body to return to the earth, and invites the soul to rest a while before choosing and getting advice from her on its next incarnation. Her role is to take the fear out of death, to help you to see it as transformation and opportunity and new life. She is tender and warm and epic. She is kind and compassionate, and her tears fall as she gathers souls. She can speak to earthbounds too, and encourages those whose work is done, whose time has come, to come home for a while to rest, as they deserve, and as the soul needs. She visits those who are left behind with memories, and encourages communication and transformative support messages to come through. She knows there is a rainbow bridge between the worlds, and more than once a year, most especially on Samhain, the old name for Halloween, All Saints' Day, or on the anniversary of the passing of a loved one, she helps messages from the departed come through with wisdom and guidance for their children and friends who are still with the living. Her love is boundless, but she has laws that she works within. The angel De Los Muertos speaks, I bring you a message from a loved one whose spirit seems to have already departed, but whose physical presence lingers on, for now, as he or she prepares to depart from this life. I ask you now to acknowledge your loved ones who are resting in spirit or creating new selves for their souls. You may soon be about to meet a beloved in a new form. I ask you to stay open-minded about the form in which the souls can come, and I ask you to be open to the message from the loved ancestors. For they have something to tell you, and it will come to you soon, in a vision, or a dream, or a message during a daydream that will bring such sweet, tangible proof of what some people still call life after death. There is no death. There is only life and rest in time and change. Be ready to be comforted and to learn more of the world beyond this world, which is always with you, but is not always believed in or trusted, even when we send messages to you, as clear as a flag in the sky. The divination message. The angel De Los Muertos' appearance in a reading signifies that you must not delay activating this lifetime's purpose. Activation cards. Creativity. Her message is not only from those who have passed, but of the truth that you can activate your new life while you are still alive. It is no longer necessary to pass to recreate the life contract and purpose you have. Do not wish to leave in order to start anew. Believe that this life is a constant process of creation, and that you are at a point where you can end a pattern without ending this life. Energy is changing, and death is no longer the greatest reshaper. She comes to visit you now, so the fear of mortality passes, and so that you understand you can begin to rebirth yourself into a new life now. Deja vu. Not really. This message was read to you this week. I don't know what day we're on. Saturday. Probably this week then. I think the title was, You can begin to rebirth yourself into a new life now. Let's finish with a message from the Mother Mary. So really, part 1 is your tarot reading, and part 2, your oracle messages. Let's finish with the Mother Mary. I feel like we haven't tapped into her energy in a while. We've been kind of tuning in with Rumi. So So let's see what the Mother Mary would like to say. I've got the card. Our Lady of the Inner Gate, card number 19. I'm going to tell you what the Major Arcana card is for card number 19. It's your energy, Divine Masculine, the Sun energy. My initiations are sacred, and no matter what appears to be happening in your life, I am behind it. I am always guiding you towards your heart, for within that sacred temple, the most precious treasure is kept. To obtain that treasure, you will need courage, trust and faith. I bestow my grace willingly upon you, my child, without restraint. You must provide the trust in me that gives you courage to take the journey. Your reward shall be riches beyond all imagining. There is a teaching that it is easier to be grateful during a feast than a famine. In a similar way, perhaps judging on appearances alone, it can be easier to feel the presence of the divine behind the happy events of our lives or strokes of luck and good fortune, rather than in the challenges and loss. Yet the Mother instructs us that she is just as much behind the challenges as she is behind the more obvious causes for celebration. How can this be? In her wisdom, she knows that of which we are capable. She knows what our heart can handle, how much heartbreak we can bear, in order to grow our heart into a powerful vehicle for divine compassion, bliss and wisdom. She knows that sometimes the happier path will be of great benefit to us. She also knows that at other times, being granted all that we want in the way that we think we want it would actually prevent us from fulfilling our divine destiny and receiving our full spiritual inheritance. Whilst there may be many times in her journey with us that she guides us along a joyful path, there will also be times when her guidance leads us straight into what we most wanted to avoid. That might be loss or challenge, or a letting go that requires greater trust than we have ever had to summon before, or a need to endure great confusion as we let go of a life too small for us. We will grow through the transition into the larger life awaiting us. What gets us through these initiations is the understanding that she is not trying to harm us or punish us, but to bring us to life. Our Lady of the Inner Gate comes to us with a message. We are being initiated into the power of our own hearts. The heart creates a powerful magnetic field that can be felt within us and around us. As we grow spiritually, the electromagnetic field of the heart grows too, and our energetic influence can become important, not only to immediate family members, but to whole communities with which we are involved. We can continue to grow in that heart. We can continue to grow in that heart power and become influential and sustaining to the world around us. This can even operate to the point that a country we are travelling in at any given time will be impacted by our heart field through which the Mother's grace can flow. Whatever is happening in your life at the moment, whether joyful emerging or challenging descent into facing a fear, know that it is an initiation into your heart power. We move through these initiations not by resisting them, by staying present and being with what we feel. This might seem impossible, and yet it becomes possible with practice, patience, and a willingness to trust that it isn't some random suffering to try and get us out of as soon as possible. To try and get us out of. Let's repeat that. This might not seem impossible. This might not seem... I've got no coffee left. Okay. This might seem impossible, and yet it becomes possible with practice, patience, and a willingness to trust that it isn't some random suffering to try and get out of as soon as possible, but a pathway that is leading us somewhere truly valuable. Even if we are in dark times, we can know that Our Lady of the Inner Gate is guiding us, so that we can find our way into the deeper chambers of our hearts. This oracle heralds a time when you are growing in spiritual power. Whether you are aware of this consciously or not, you are becoming a person of increasing energetic influence. If you have some natural sense of spiritual responsibility, you may worry about this, wondering if you are always putting out constructive vibrations. Do not fear. You do not have to be perfect. You just need to be yourself and trust. It is your trust in the divine that brings the most power to your heart emanation and the most healing to the world around you. It is your willingness to experience your life with growing trust that empowers the Mother to act through you and for others to be nourished by your presence. It is your trust that paves the way to the inner gate, opening it wide and allowing you to discover the treasure within your heart. It is the riches within that you are looking for always, even if you fantasize from time to time that you are desiring something else. Without the riches of the heart, belly rumbling, without the riches of the heart, anything else obtained soon enough shows itself to be an empty vessel. It is the fullness of life itself and all that it offers that shall open up your heart as it becomes even more capable of receiving that precious gift through this process. Beautiful message. Healing process and affirmation. Under a blanket of seemingly endless, dark night sky, you wait patiently. A crescent moon softly glows, serene and pale. Suddenly there is an explosion of beautiful orange, red and yellow light, and the face of a beautiful woman emerges. She gazes down at you, starlight falling from her eyes into your heart. Receive this blessing now, and in your own time, complete the healing with the following affirmation. The inner gate of my sacred heart opens as I am initiated through the heavenly light of the Holy Mother. Great blessings and treasures are bestowed upon me, which I lovingly share with the world in her holy name. Amen. Okay, that's a beautiful message. Right, let me go so that I can upload them to you. I will catch up with you guys soon. Until then, take care. Much love. Bye for now.